We're thankful for Jesus for giving us the opportunity to use our gifts. But obviously, you can't celebrate gifts without celebrating the giver of all gifts. So I want to celebrate Jesus.
Yeah. Keep them applause going, man. That makes sense to me. Doesn't surprise me that a 14-year-old wrote his own script, Heather B. Tracy. He saw it at 14. He put it to words. He put it to power. And it all manifested. At 14, he wanted to be a Grammy Award winning artist. Guess what he is? A Grammy Award winning artist.
Boom, 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 boom.
Songwriter, record producer, actor, dad, all around great guy. He's back. The one and only Lecrae, ladies and gentlemen. Lecrae. Say his name.
Yo, our guy.
Say his name, Lecrae. Say his name. He don't like that, though. He don't want to. He's a citizen.
Let's Sway in the morning, baby.
Lecrae.
It's our long-time buddy.
That's our long-time buddy. It's different talking with him now. I feel like I'm having a conversation with my cousin.
It's different.
Oh, man. First, it's something to be said. You know, I had a friend call Lecrae the other day, George Melion. George grew up with me. We went to elementary school. And he called the show the other day. I haven't spoken to George in years. And he reminded me that I hosted our 6th grade graduation. And he said, it makes so much sense that you're doing what you're doing today because those are the things you said you would once do. I don't remember saying it. But damn it, I know I'm living it. You know what I mean? At 14, you knew what you wanted to do. But at 14, you don't know how you're going to get there. You faced a whole lot of obstacles, a whole lot of adversity during that time. When you look back at your 14-year-old self, what can you learn from that person as the man you are today?
You know what, man? What you got at 14 is idealism. You can dream. People stop dreaming when they get older, bro. They stop dreaming. You don't believe the impossible is possible. When you're a kid, you don't even care. You be like, man, you know how many people trying to get a deal? That don't make sense, man. You're like, man, whatever you talking about, I'm dreaming. So that's
right.
We got to get that back, man.
People stop dreaming. Damn.
You feel me?
Yeah, people stop dreaming. Can you stop dreaming while you're living the dream? Because you've been when I listen to this album, Restoration, and I read your book, I Am Restored, How I Lost My Religion but Gained My Faith. You know, can you lose track of the dream while you're in the dream?
Oh yeah, absolutely. They be trying to steal your dreams. You know what I'm saying? They try to steal your dreams. That's the problem. Is everybody out here wants a piece of your dream. You know what I'm saying? What Andre say? Every time I try to get a piece of mine, they want a piece of mine. So it's like that's what ends up happening. So you got to keep pushing, man, and you got to block out the noise.
You when you watch this, he did a 3-part video series called Road to Restoration. It's on Lecrae's YouTube, on his YouTube channel, and you talk about they try to steal your dreams. One of the most potent things that I remember you talking about is when you had everything lined up: marriage, Grammys, tours, you're on the road, you know, things are happening, things are working in your favor, and then one day you looked up and you said you realized you were in the middle of a depression. And I'm thinking, when did this happen? We've seen him all along the way. This man has always looked like he was solid, like he had, you know, his toes 10 toes down, that he knew his purpose. Right. What did that look like when you recognized, like, when did you awake to know that you was in a depression?
Man, you know what? It kind of hit me. So what we don't realize is, especially like, you know, coming from, you know, our community, is that we suppress so much trauma. We suppress so many things that happen to us in our lives. And we dealing with it every day. We just don't realize it. So it wasn't like it just hit me. I was dealing with it every day. I just didn't realize it. You know what I'm saying? It just all, end of the day, I put it to you like this. All the trauma and trials are just growing up in the hood and you know, family drama and everything else. We all are a paper towel, you know what I'm saying, in life. Stress is like all the responsibilities we got on us. It's like putting it on a paper towel. But when you got historical trauma, your paper towel's wet. So around 2018, my paper towel snapped, bro. It was just too much. It was all of the historical childhood trauma. It was the pressures of the industry, trying to be something you're not, dealing with, evangelicals who want me to be, the token Christian, and just trying to weigh all of that stuff out. And then on top of that, you got the vices, you know what I'm saying, that just looking for an opportunity to prey on you and your mindset. So around the end of 2018, man, it just snapped for me, bro. I just was like, man, I'm done. I just woke up one morning and I was like, man, I can't even enjoy the sunshine. Like, what's going on with me? And I knew something was really, really wrong.
Lecrae is here, and I'm going to let Tracy and Heather jump in. When I think about that, I think about this part in the book, Unashamed in the Light, where you talk about your therapist, right? And you said, my therapist helped me to identify all my stressors and distractions. As I scribbled out a list on a sheet of paper, I realized what was becoming my biggest distraction was social media.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. Social media was undermining my mental health with comparison and an abyss of arguments. I was so busy debating my detractors that I couldn't see how much time I was wasting. Speak on that, man. So, because we're taught that the social media, those analytics, those metrics is how Lecrae is going to get the playlist. It's how Lecrae is going to get on the festival. It's how Lecrae is going to get the TV show or the podcast as a guest. Is through those analytics, that social media engagement. Speak to that, man, when you discovered that, and what did you do?
Yeah, I think, honestly, like, so I remember literally, because, I got that mixed fan base. I got a mixed bag. I got people from all different walks of life. It's like a pro athlete. I got Biden and Trump on both sides. You know what I'm saying? They all following the kids. So I'm like, speaking out on certain issues, in society, civil rights, human rights issues, Mike Brown, Trayvon, and so on and so forth. And I just thought we was all in the same gang, all on the same team. And man, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for that amount of just visceral hate and politicizing my passions. You know what I'm saying? And people like, I got death threats at the house and all kind of stuff because I was just like overly consumed. And what people don't do as far as social media is concerned is they don't check in and check out. You know what I'm saying? They don't pull that Tracy T and go get grounded. You know what I'm saying? And start over again. They be on that thing all day, all night. And that's what I was doing, arguing with people, clapping back. And most of these folks, man, they living in their mama's, in a trailer, in a mama's trailer in the living room. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm sitting here arguing with these folks, and it just wears on you, bro. It just wears on your mental state.
And so hence we have this well thought out project called Restoration, where you put so much commitment into it. It's a book, it's a video series, it's an album. You went to Stanford to tap some of the finest minds to help bring this vision together. And now here we arrive to Restoration. What's the meaning behind Restoration for you?
Honestly, it's just taking something that people say is damaged goods and allowing it to be, brought back together. It's healing. You know what I mean? It's like we don't heal. We don't give each other a chance to heal. We don't step away and get healed. You know what I mean? It's a weird thing. Like we wait until we knock down on our back. You wait until you can't function no more before you stop and get healing. We don't eat healing foods. We don't do healing, exercises, and we just walk around like toxic all the time. So Restoration is saying this is not the way things are supposed to be, but it's also not the way things have to be. You can't find restoration. So that's really what the book came from. Honestly, I was, Steph Curry's the homie, and I saw what his wife was dealing with. She went on Red Table Talk and was bearing her soul, and they ate her alive. And I saw the effect that it had on her, and I was like, that's trash that people can treat somebody that way for them being honest about where they at. And she didn't have the freedom to just be herself. And so that's when I really wanted a project and a place for people to find healing.
Mm-hmm.
We got Lecrae here, 888-742-3345. A lot of game being dropped, a lot of gems.
Yeah,
Bizzle,
buddy.
you want to jump in and say what up to your homie?
Man, Lecrae already know. Much love to you, family. Thank you so much for calling into the show. And I'm just kind of touched by what he says. Sway and I, and Tracy too. But I feel like Sway and I talk about it more, Lecrae, when we have opportunity. Like I particularly don't follow a lot of people on Instagram, on social media, period, because I'm mindful of that very thing that you just spoke about. It also came to me during my restoration period before social media, back when I was 28, when I decided to give my life to Christ officially, having an understanding. I grew up Catholic, so you got to remember, we got baptized at 9, and they sprinkled some water on our head, and we had to keep it moving. But when I was 28, that's when I got the full understanding, and I gave my life to Christ. And I realized that when you just mentioned Aisha Curry, God blessings to her and Steph, you can't always share what you're going through and your experiences on certain platforms. And that was something that I learned, which probably subconsciously led me to not follow a lot of people. People are not always able to receive what we're able to share, or what we're willing to share. They're not able to receive it, and mostly because they don't have the spiritual understanding. They don't have that knowledge. They don't have that place, or a lot of times they're just afraid of it, so they attack it because they don't know of the fear of what you come in with. So I appreciate you being so honest with this restoration process, and I encourage everybody, it ain't too late for you, and it ain't never too soon. Restore as much as possible, whether it's spiritually, emotionally, financially, physically. Just restore as much as possible, because we need it.
Talk that talk, Heather B.
Come on now.
Talk.
Yo, it's real. It's real that you said that. I had to learn that, at 28, when not a lot of spiritual teachers around, but it was something that I was glad that Christ opened my eyes to, and I've been able to walk in that. But you can't share it with everybody. Sometimes these platforms ain't the right places to share stuff.
Word.
That's big facts.
Yeah, man, that's amazing. Hey, Lecrae, I was thinking maybe we could go on tour with you, and then we could open up. We could open up. HB could kind of do that thing she just did right there. We just get them fired up for you. Is that a possibility? Restoration, restoration tour.
It would be an honor. It'd be an honor to close for y'all. Wow. It'd be an honor to close for y'all. You feel me?
My smile, homie.
Crazy.
You saw that, Tracy? Get out of here. Hit him with something.
I always see it.
Okay.
I love my brother Lecrae, man. I always feel like you just, going back to the word restore my belief in Christ, restore my belief in community, why God decided to create so many children on this planet, because although we have individual paths, but it's really our union that makes this journey that much more bearable, the fellowship of it all. So thank you for jumping on with us. Thank you for all the art that you create that impacts us internally and then externally. Now, staying with this social media topic, and the reason why I want to add even more width to it is because it has become such an integral part of many of our lives. And oftentimes, just like you said, it's hard to compartmentalize it. One, because social media doesn't have office hours. It's 24/7, and we use it for work, but we also use it for pleasure in some ways too. So it can be difficult to decide, right, when am I entering, when am I leaving? So how have you created a routine around your social media? Like, what are your personal boundaries?
No, that's a good question. First and foremost is saying that you need them, is acknowledging that you need boundaries, right? Like, I think a lot of people don't even realize they need them. And even with the boundaries, you can't always predict or protect yourself. So I did do that. Like, I was like, yo, I'm only on from this time to this time. I'm only posting for this. And one of the things I started doing was, when I know I'm posting something that is probably going to be controversial to people, even though I'm not trying to be controversial, I don't even read the comments no more, because I know somebody going to say something ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Like just being honest, because it's that whole dopamine effect. And I didn't make the movie Social Dilemma, but I liked what I saw, and just how we getting pimped, by dopamine, and we getting and sold to companies and so on and so forth. And you got to understand that. You got to understand the business behind it. And if you're not figuring out a way to leverage what you're doing on social media, then it's leveraging you. So I started, one, having my team and having people around me, put stuff up there so I'm not on there constantly. Two, it's just realizing, like Heather B said, is like, these ain't my real friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all my real friends. Like, if I talk to y'all outside of this, I know it's all love and it's all good. So just making sure that I have a real perspective on that. And then, lastly is like, it's just remembering who you are and whose you are, because they're going to constantly try to tell you who you are. Somebody always going to have a negative thing. And I always, what I tell people is, listen, man, the power within you is greater than the powers against you. So don't listen to all that nonsense. You got to stay tuned in to who God says you are, because otherwise you're going to let all them voices. I woke up this morning and just no cap. I got on social media. Some dude said, I posted a picture of me voting. This dude said, I used to love you. Now I can't stand you, and I'm not alone. And if I don't know whose I am and who I am, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's like,
all your validation would fall on him.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly.
Oh my
I'm
gosh,
like,
Lecrae, God bless you. Because I would be like, yo, tell your mama to come get her sketches from under my bed. Like, get the hell off my
sketches from under my bed.
Like, get the fuck, yo, man. Like, yo, this is too much, yo.
Yeah. Get the sketches. You gotta get the sketches, though. Your mama can't be leaving the sketches under Lecrae bed. So come on, man.
Nah, come on, mama. Be responsible.
The other thing I found really powerful in your 3-part series, and I can identify with, because I didn't grow up with my father in the household, is you really being transparent about your relationship, your sister and you, and with your father. And I don't know I picked up that he might have had addictions. I'm not sure what his vices were. And then you guys actually showed up to him at his home, and then the next day you guys went driving around, and you got a chance to confront your father as an adult, and meet him at the place he was then, not all the back in trauma necessarily. Were you nervous about that? Like, at some point you knew you had to ask him what happened. Like, what was that moment like for you two, for your sister and you?
I had to tell myself, my sister was hot, so my sister was ready to throw them hands. I had to be the balance between us, you know what I'm saying? My sister was like, nigga, where you been at? You know what I'm saying? But I had made up in my mind, y'all, that I'm not going to have no expectations except meeting this man. Like, that's it. All I want to do is meet him so I can say I did before he passes away. Because if you can't manage your expectations, you're bound to be disappointed and discouraged. So I managed my expectations. I walked into it. I said, I just want to meet him. If it goes left and he says something crazy, I just wanted to meet him. If it goes right and he says something encouraging, that's just icing on the cake. So all I wanted to do was meet him. I wasn't looking for no daddy. I'm already a daddy. I don't need a daddy. I wasn't looking for no best friend. I wasn't looking for us to hold hands and run off into the sunset. I just wanted to meet this man, partially because we share genetic codes. I want to know, is there anything like me? And then also it's like, okay, so let me get your side of the story. Whether it's true or not, maybe it'll help me put some pieces of the puzzle together, but all I want to do is say I met him. And it's unfortunate that some of us have to navigate life like that, but I think managing my expectations was the best thing I could have possibly done. And that was healthy and helpful for me, you know what I'm saying, just to meet this dude.
Did you realize how helpful being a father, like when I got to be an adult, and I felt more empathy towards my father. Like, I don't care who you are. The fact that you void of your kid's life is just got to be a private hell that you're living. I don't care. You could try to mask it all you want, but you dealing with some stuff. You know what I mean? Absolutely. And when I heard your father say, "Man, look at my kids. When I saw them last, I saw them when they was born. I held them, and now they bigger than me. And I talk to my kids every day." I know that was an edit. It was in the in the 3-part series, but did it give you joy to know that it brought him joy? That it gave him some type of solace?
Yeah, you should want that for anybody. I don't care what they did to you, you know what I'm saying? Love your enemies and anybody who done you wrong. You should just want people to experience goodness. I just try to leave a little bit of heaven everywhere I go, man. So
there you go.
I don't have no ill will toward that man. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no ill will toward that man, and I wanted him to experience any little bit of joy he could, because God knows what kind of hell he's been through. Like, obviously, mental health issues, addiction issues. Like, that stuff is real. And when you get older and you go through it for real, then you like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you see people living out there on the streets, they went through something. You don't just end up on the streets, bro. Like, you done seen some things to land you in that space, and seen some things that a lot of people don't understand and don't want to know. So, yeah, there was a lot of empathy I had for him, and I was glad, he got a little moment of joy.
Yeah, man. Hey, did you pay him to be in the doc? Did you give him any fees, any money or nothing? You pay your dad?
Yeah.
Hello?
I did. I paid him. I told him, I said, you don't have to pay no child support if you do this one stand-up thing for me right now.
Yo, you crazy, man. You a crazy dude, man. Get up for Lecrae, man. You a funny dude. Yo, hey, we're going to wipe off all that child support. Just make a cameo, Dad.
Yeah,
we got.
Oh my gosh!
Restoration is the new project. We got Lecrae here. 888-742-3345. Teresa's on the line from PA. Teresa.
Hey, Sway.
Hey, Teresa.
Hey, Lecrae. I just wanted to let Lecrae know he's very inspirational to me, to my family, his whole team. I have young kids. When we get in the car, we're on Lecrae. My mom, she's a pastor here. Whenever she gets in my car, we're on Lecrae. It just brings everybody together. I'm in Littletown, Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania. He actually came to Geneva College and did a concert for us. Awesome concert. We just had moments. My kids got to get pictures with Swoop and the team, and so it's like a tradition now that if anybody from 116 comes into town, we're there. We went to see Andy Mineo. Of course, we've seen Lecrae. Martin Fern. We just try. The music is so inspirational, and we can all connect on it. I applaud you.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you for being your family too, man.
The new project got bangers on it too, Teresa. Make sure you check those out. You're a citizen. You already know. Teresa knows. Let's go to Canada. Carlos, what you want to say to Lecrae?
You're talking to me in Canada.
What up, Carlos?
Hey, Lecrae, listen. Oh, man, that's you. Man, listen, man, this is the thing about Lecrae is that I appreciate you sharing your struggle. I'm a 42-year-old man. I've been going through some things. And which one was it? It was back in All Things Work Together. And I was going through crazy stuff. And that album came on. I stopped everything. I listened to that album from beginning to end, and I was doing some jobs, doing some work, and the way that you're telling the story, the way that you're sharing how you feel. I don't know about your social media, that kind of stuff. I've tried to protect myself from that kind of thing. But I'll tell you, man, your albums, I've downloaded every single one, multiple times, every device. Lecrae, it's like you keep struggling, man. You stay out there, you keep doing your thing. These guys here. These crazy guys here on Chase on this morning show. I'm driving through Joshua Tree last week, crying like a baby because these guys shut down the whole show and they're having like a praise and worship time. You know what I mean? It's all about walking in your purpose, and you're doing that. I appreciate you, Lecrae. I appreciate that. Yeah. You guys do your thing. You guys keep it up, all right?
Man, I love y'all, man. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Let it show in the world, baby. Come on, man.
Come on. Thank you, man. You're a citizen, Carlos.
Let's wait in the morning.
Yeah. You know what happens is, Thursdays we do Good News Thursdays, and then it just turns into a praise. Last week we went 2 hours.
Yep. No celebrity wire.
Lovely, man.
Yeah,
it's lovely, but you know what, y'all don't. I mean, I know y'all know it, but man, some people out there so lonely and so disconnected. Y'all, they family. You know what I'm saying? If they don't get to tune in, they'll break down and cry if something happened to y'all. You know what I mean? Like that's a beautiful thing, man.
Thank you, man. Lecrae is here. I'm gonna take one more call. Thank you, bro. And it's the same for us. We'll break down and cry if we don't have them.
Facts.
I don't know
So
about
many reasons why.
I know, right? So many reasons why. Hey, Gabrielle, is it Gabrielle or Gabrielle?
Oh my God, I love y'all. It's Gabrielle.
It's Gabrielle, yo.
Love you too, sis.
Hey, Gabs.
What's up? Oh my God. This day I was born to be a citizen, Sway. I love you, Heather B. Tracy.
Love you too.
You ready? You ready to do it now? Let's do it off the jump. Matter of fact, Lecrae. Let's get Lecrae to help give you your citizenship. All you got to do, Lecrae, is say, Gabrielle, you are a citizen. Don't worry about the rest. Go ahead, Lecrae. Go ahead.
Oh, I know how this goes. Listen,
Okay.
I've been waiting for this my whole life, baby. You know what I'm saying? Gabrielle, I now dub thee a citizen.
Sway in the morning.
Wow. Go off and be great, Gabrielle. Be great.
Thank you.
All right.
I got a question for Lecrae. So it took a long time for me to get to a place of empathy, right, with my son's absent father. And so I have a question about what advice you have for single mothers who are, working with their sons who have to explain that or try to get them to a place of understanding, like, look, this is just part of your journey, and like, you're not going to be without. Like, what do you suggest?
Yeah, I think right off the rip. So this is how I think it's been helpful for me just to categorize it. You know, when they real young, they may lash out because of the emotional stuff that they dealing with, and they don't understand the reality. So one is encouraging them that it ain't got nothing to do with them. You know what I'm saying? That it ain't their fault, and helping make sure they have a secure sense of self and value and worth. And then as they get older, you know, you go from when they little kids, you a cop and you just own them like, hey, don't do this, do this. But when they get a little bit older, you become a counselor. And so when they get, in them teen years, you counsel and walk with them. Hey, how you feeling about this? What's your thoughts on this? How does it make you feel when this happens? And then when they grown, you a consultant and you just tap in and you just like, hey man, what's going on with it? How you talk to your pops or da 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 da. And you're just making sure that you're there. Lean in and ask the hard questions. It's going to be a journey. It ain't no destination. It's going to be a journey that's going to last him his whole life. And that's just the reality that we live with. But we learn to deal with them scars, and them scars become a part of our story. And our story is what makes us who we are and how we're able to impact and affect other people. So, don't run from it. My mama tried to run from it and hide it. And it's like, you can't run from it. It's part of his story. And so you just, as he owns it.
And it's everyday life.
Stronger.
Everyday life.
Yeah, real rap.
There it is. Gabrielle, you got your first advice as a citizen. Come on.
Yes.
Go have a wonderful day, Gabrielle. Spread that energy,
It's
okay?
amazing day. Happy birthday to my cousin Denise. She's 32 today. Happy birthday.
Niece, you 32. All right. Be great, Gabrielle. Thank you.
Thank you. Clay.
Thank you. Yeah, man. Oh, we could do this all day with Lecrae. Don't get it twisted. I know he got other promotions he could do, but I want to encourage. Great album, Restoration, is out now. New book, I Am Restored, How I Lost My Religion but Gained My Faith. That's out right now.
Word.
3-part video series. That's out right now. Man, it was some other stuff I wanted to get into. That was
Me too.
Because you brought it up, when you was talking about the evangelicals and that crossroad, that bridge between black Christians and white evangelicals. I want to learn that. We're going to talk about that another day, I think, because I know you got to go.
Oh, yeah, we can go there. We can go there.
Okay.
So I look forward to that.
We're going to do that separately. All right. Lecrae, thank you, brother. We love you. Continued success. Tell the family. Tell the kids Uncle Sway said what up. Tell your queen. She's solid. I love the way you give her praise throughout this whole process. Rightfully so. Give it up for Lecrae. You want to say anything in closing, brother?
Hey, man, I love y'all. Everybody out there listening, man. Listen, man. If you woke up today, it's not too late. If you can hope, you can heal. Keep pushing, baby.
There you go.
Love it.
Brand new. First song on the project. Lecrae, Restore Me. Sway in the morning. Shade 45.
Boy.